So, Gabe, we're seeing some common tactics here from this president and this White House in the face of a damaging story, insults and legal threats.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Anna. Look, the president is threatening to sue, as you mentioned, the vice president, calling this complete and utter BS. The press secretary arguing that the Journal never showed them the actual letter. But these are all tactics that we've heard before. From the president and this administration. Now, this morning, President Trump has been posting on social media several times, venting his anger at the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, but also in the last few moments saying this about Rupert Murdoch, saying, I look forward to getting Rupert Murdoch to testify in my lawsuit against him and his, quote, pile of garbage newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. That will be an interesting experience. So again, the president, as he often does, and he no doubt feels emboldened by some of the recent developments regarding his lawsuit against CBS, certainly trying to push back against what he deems an unfavorable story. Anna.
Gabe, as we mentioned in his denial in the article, Trump told the Journal, quote, I never wrote a picture in my life. But that's demonstrably false, right?
Yes, it is. I did speak with a senior administration official a short time ago who tried to make the point that, the president was really talking about that he never had written this particular picture that the Journal described. But if you just look at over the past several decades, the president has drawn pictures before. He drew a picture of the New York City skyline for a charity auction back in 2005. Then in 2008, another drawing, and then there's been reports of several others as well. So while the president may have said he didn't draw something in this particular case, he's trying to make that argument. Public reports do show that he has drawn pictures in his life before. No surprise for someone in the public view for so long.
Dave, President Trump had said he threatened to sue the Journal if they published this story. They went ahead and published it anyway. Does that give you a sense that they think they're on pretty solid legal footing here?
Anna, do you think that Rupert Murdoch would allow his newspaper to publish something unless they had the goods? Also, it's telling that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, has not come out and said that this letter is nowhere in the files. So it's apparent to me that it's in the files. Whether it's real or not, well, you can make that conclusion yourself. So I think that if he goes ahead with a lawsuit, it will be short-lived. He'll get the initial benefit of the lawsuit, and then it will disappear because it opens Trump himself up to depositions and discovery. He doesn't want that.
He's in the same post where the president called this story, this letter, fake. He actually says he tried to block this story from getting out there. He writes, quote, Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it. The president working with a major media executive to block a story, I mean, is that legal?
I don't know, first of all, whether or not that conversation happened. So we don't know whether that conversation is true. What we do know is that Mr. Trump was confronted with the evidence that the Wall Street Journal had in a conversation on Tuesday evening. And Anna, that's when his communications about the Epstein files changed radically. On Tuesday night, suddenly, the Epstein files went from being something that on Monday he had called sordid but boring to Tuesday night, suddenly it was a creation. That's literally the word he used, a creation of Democratic presidential candidates, Jim Comey, John Brennan, both of whom are reportedly under criminal investigation right now. And then, of course, on Wednesday, he went ahead and fired a 10-year veteran of the Department of Justice, Maureen Comey, who is Jim Comey's daughter and was involved in the Epstein prosecution and investigation. Seems to me like in anticipation of this story, there was a big effort afoot at the White House, not only to quash the story, but to try and shift the narrative around Jeffrey Epstein. Now, of course, they're saying they're going to go after the grand jury testimony. And that itself is telling, because grand jury testimony, as Dave well knows, is not the entirety of the file. It's a portion of the file. But the fact that they want it not only shows so little regard for the victims who are likely in that grand jury testimony, several of whom testified at the trial of Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, but it also may not be something that a court is willing to grant. And they must know that. This is their effort to, again, shift the narrative, try and convince the public that they really want these files to come out in the open, while knowing at the same time that in all likelihood, a federal judge is never going to grant that request out of consideration for the victims.
What kinds of things would be in this grand jury testimony? I mean, is it going to be the whole thing? I mean, is it going to be potential letters? Could it be other files, documents, videos that would be among the evidence?
It would just be written transcripts of the witness testimony behind closed doors and perhaps documents that they provided. As Lisa correctly said, it's a portion of what would be in the overall Epstein files. And now Trump is saying we're only going to seek the release of the pertinent grand jury transcripts. So we're talking about a portion of the portion. And I agree with Lisa that it's unlikely a judge will grant it, but then Trump wins by losing. Then he can blame it all on the judge, as he is now blaming it all on the Wall Street Journal, going after the press and the judiciary. Those are two winners for the MAGA base.
Yeah, and to that point, Alex, a lot of Trump allies who felt betrayed by the administration's handling of the Epstein files and were demanding more information are now pretty rapidly disregarding this new information shared by the Wall Street Journal, from Elon Musk to Charlie Kirk to Laura Loomer. They're uniting around the idea that this alleged Trump letter to Epstein is bogus. What does that tell you about this whole rift?
Well, you know, it's interesting that in a weird way, maybe this Wall Street Journal story, at least in the very, very short term, maybe Trump got a plus out of it. Trump has been under enormous pressure from his base, the loudest voices in his party who've criticized his administration over its handling of the Epstein situation. Now they're rallying to his defense over this Wall Street Journal story. And so it gave him at least a little bit of breathing room when it comes to his base. Those people now saying the Wall Street Journal was unfair to have published this story.
Gabe, the president tried to tell people, stop talking about Epstein. Now he's pushing to release grand jury testimony. That's quite a change. Why the flip-flop?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Anna. Again, I just spoke with a senior administration official a short time ago, and this person was trying to make the case that it actually wasn't that big of a change, although the language did change in his post. He's now saying he's asking the Attorney General to do it, whereas before he had been saying the whole decision was up to her and it wasn't up to him. And he said, oh, if she wanted to release any credible information, she should do it. It's unclear whether he did have any sort of conversation with the Attorney General yesterday. She, of course, was out on the West Coast attending or touring Alcatraz yesterday. So we're trying to find out more information whether they did have any sort of conversation. But yes, the president last night in that social media post now saying that he is asking the Attorney General to release any pertinent grand jury information. And as your guest just said, pertinent can mean a lot of things, and that the word really is doing a lot of work right here. It could be that anything that is not pertinent. Who decides what is pertinent? Who decides what is credible? And certainly this could be just the start of a process here. Pam Bondi saying she will move to start this, but this might not happen very quickly. We'll just have to see how this all plays out.
I mean, Alex, if this whole idea of getting grand jury testimony goes nowhere, because as Lisa pointed out, it seems unlikely a judge is going to allow grand jury transcripts to get out there. What does this mean in terms of satisfying the base?
It won't do much to satisfy the base. It will give Trump someone else to deflect blame to, but you're still going to see members of the Trump's coalition calling for more information to be released. One of the really interesting dynamics here is that you're seeing conservative voters are saying that they want to see more information released, and because conservative voters asking for information released, that means that puts pressure on House Republicans, other Republican members of Congress, to put pressure on the White House, because these people don't want to face primary challenges. They don't want to antagonize their base of voters, and so they're under pressure as well to speak up on this issue.
Dave, there was also a push by Trump allies, including members of Congress, to have a special counsel be applied here, and yet the White House has already ruled that out. What do you think? Would this type of a case warrant a special counsel?
Perhaps in another administration, but you're talking about President Trump, who values loyalty over everything else, and he has an attorney general in Pam Bondi who is loyal to him. Why would he take it out of her hands and give it to someone else. Remember when President Clinton had Whitewater and they had a special counsel who stepped in, Kenneth Starr, and Whitewater then became Monica Lewinsky. And so it really rarely ends well when a president appoints a special counsel, or at least the attorney general does. Don't expect that to happen here.
Lisa, where do you see this going? What other options? If no grand jury testimony comes out, if there's no special counsel, what's left?
I think that still Pam Bondi has the option to release additional materials. But, you know, both sides are playing political football with the Epstein files without really talking about what is likely to be in them. And we know already that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videotapes, still images of Jeffrey Epstein with his underage victims. We know that there is likely documentation that goes to the heart of their privacy and their rights. I really wish that, despite the insatiable public curiosity about what happened, that people would understand that Department of Justice under President Trump in 2019, in indicting Jeffrey Epstein and then following his death, Ghislaine Maxwell, took a look at all of that evidence. If there was more there that could have led to other indictments, I believe that a Department of Justice under Joe Biden would have looked again at that evidence and indicted people. I want to make one other point, though. I want to underscore the fact that Pam Bondi cannot release any grand jury transcripts on her own. She needs judicial permission to do so. In some courts around the country, you have to fit into certain exceptions to the federal rule that governs grand jury transcripts to do it. This situation doesn't fit into any of those exceptions. Dave and I were talking about it before we came on the air. But in this area of the country, the circuit court that oversees the Southern District of New York, you can have them released if there are special circumstances. So let's wait to see what the Department of Justice says those special circumstances are in their court papers.
Just very quickly, Dave, how quickly could that happen?
The release of grand jury.
To look at it and to weigh in.
Well, I do think the district court will weigh in and probably will reject it. And then Trump will rail on the courts and he'll get caught up in appeals. But he will get what he wanted, which is to deflect his base onto the judiciary, blame them, blame the press. Just don't blame the president.